Hello, I am back. I had a couple of people asking to see my daughter's classroom slash therapy room and also to see her bedroom. So I'm going to try to do a couple of quick videos just to show you guys around. So right now we are in my daughter's classroom. Um, so we are homeschooling. This is the bathroom door right here. Everything's labeled. My daughter's working on sight words. And as you can see, if you've watched the bathroom video, we have the track that comes straight into our therapy room. Right now it ends right there, but we are already looking at extending that track over to where we have our bars on the wall. So the reason that we have these bars on the walls is one of the things that we're working on is having my daughter hold herself up in sitting, cross-legged sitting, and then also holding herself up in supported standing. So that's why we have those bars. What we were finding was sometimes she would get a little wobbly and she'd tip forward and she would bump her head. So we put these are just extra large pool noodles that we put over top and they can slide. So we slide them up when she's sitting down so that they're just above where her hands are. So if she kind of tips forward and sitting, she will bump into those. And then if she's in standing, we can push them down and then she can have her hands above them. So that's been super helpful. I think we use pool noodles for just about everything in terms of anything that needs padding and that's round, they seem to be super helpful. So we used to have a whole ton of stuff on the walls, and as you can see, it's kind of plain. I think we have 2 remaining letters up there. Over the Christmas holidays, we took a whole bunch of stuff down because what we were finding was that my daughter gets very distracted by visual things. And so we kind of minimalize what we had on the walls. We have a couple of things kind of over here. It looks a little busier. She generally has her back turned to this stuff. So that's why we don't worry about it too much. This is sort of the workspace that she has. We do still have our word wall up, but we're finding even that's a little bit distracting for her. We've tried to label just about everything, both again because my daughter's trying to pick up those sight words, and also just for ease of workers that are here and just for myself to find things. Like labeling stuff just makes life a lot easier. Over here we have, this was my daughter's advent calendar over Christmas. So she can't eat candy or, put together Lego or those kinds of things. So we had this kind of Playmobil scene, and we did a lot of work around the different words and spelling and sounds of different letters and those kinds of things, all with this. So that's why that's set up there. Behind this little blockade is one of my daughter's favorite things. This is her Playmobil. We call it her farm. So she's got the house with all the things in the house. We have kind of the horse farm over there, and then we have the other farm, and then we've got some wild animals in the corner. So we use this a lot for language development. We do different songs, different concepts, and that kind of thing. And she loves it to pieces, but the problem with that is she's always looking at it. So that's why we got just these paper trifolds, and then we stuck them together so that we could just kind of prop them up and have something behind them. Over in this corner is her we have sort of her calendar corner. So we've got her weather frog over there. So we do the weather. We have a calendar that, we've been working on concepts of yesterday, today, tomorrow, and those kinds of things. We've also started trying to build a little bit more with our picture schedule. So some things we already have in our picture schedule, and then we've been figuring out the bits that we need new pictures for. So as things change, we need new pictures. So we're getting ready to put those in. So in addition to our calendar, we're working on concepts of 10s and 1s, all of our calendar concepts, days of the week and stuff. This is a great little thing that we got. It's Melissa and Doug, and it's all magnets, and it's been working out really good for us. Over here we have, you can probably see there's something behind here. So these are all of the words that we have, and they used to be up on the wall so that we could see them all the time, but they, again, were very visually distracting. So we've kind of tucked them underneath the one that we use most of the time. So we will use this board for building sentences, for different activities. Those sounds up there are sounds that she's been working on trying to articulate. So that's what we have there. Around on the other side, we have a bookcase, but it's got doors on it. So again, very visually distracting, my daughter. So we made sure that we got some doors to put on our cupboard so that everything's tucked away and very well organized. And then we have some of our other books and resources. But again, the way that they're pointing, when my daughter is at her table, then she can't really see them. So our table is set up so that we kind of have a little corner tucked away in there for some of our physio different things. Usually we have her mats back there. We have a seat that we do sit to stand on, and another seat in there. And then we've got rolling stools for the adults who are in there so that we can kind of move around. And then we try to keep a really big kind of open floor space. My daughter has just got a new power chair, still learning how to drive it. We are still learning how to drive it, and pretty quick she's going to be learning how to drive it herself. So we need big space to do that. And then sort of in our little alcove, we've got more resources tucked away, and then we've posted up our physio exercises and those kind of things that we need to know. So that is my daughter's classroom. One more thing that I was going to show you in terms of if you are building a house. All of our doorways are, as we showed you in the last video, are 36-inch doors. They all have levered door handles so that my daughter can operate them herself. The other thing that you'll probably notice is that's our light switch there, and it is level with the door handle. The door handle is not very high. The light switch is very low. In this entire house, all of our light switches have been dropped to a level that my daughter can access from her wheelchair. If I can find a plug, there's one hiding behind here. You'll see that our plugs have all been raised up to a level that she can also access them from her wheelchair. So that means not only the plugs themselves, but anything that we're plugging into them, again, are at an accessible height. If you're building a house from scratch, this is super easy. It is just as easy for them to put all the switches up there as it is to put them down lower. It is just as easy for them to lower all of the light switches when you are building. If it's a renovation, it's a little more tricky for them to move that stuff, but definitely building from scratch, that's something that you guys might want to ask about, lifting up the plugins and dropping down the light switches. Hopefully that was helpful. And hopefully we'll see you in the next video.